Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a serious crash causes a busy intersection here in Hazard to shut down, and an Eastern Kentucky Police Department urges travelers to keep a closer eye on the gas pump after a troubling find.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris on this Christmas Eve. Thank you so much for joining us on this cold morning. And let's head over to Brandon for a look at that cold forecast. And Brandon, some of those cars out in the parking lot look like Frosty the Snowman. And my car was Frosty this morning.
Exactly. So there you go. Mine wasn't as bad, but there was still a little bit of frost. I did remember to start it this morning with the remote start, but I didn't have it on quite long enough because I was running a little bit behind this morning. But that's all right. We're here, we're ready to go, and it is Thursday for those of you who may not know what Christmas Eve is. Oh, did you? Okay, sorry about that. He said Thursday. You couldn't hear him. Anyway, let's talk about our forecast. And baby, it's cold outside. We're looking at places in the teens, 20s, and even maybe upper 20s. They're close to 30 on some of those ridges. But we knew some of those sheltered valleys would get down close to 20, and that's the case this morning. Irvin at 20, along with Ashland. Jonesville's at 21. London and Wise and Williamsburg, Jacksboro, Somerset all at 23. And Monticello, the cold spot, at 19. Jackson is at 28 this morning. A little bit of southwest wind starting to crank in, so once that sun comes up, clear skies this morning, it's going to crank those temperatures up and fast. 55 our forecast high today. Could get a little bit warmer in some spots, but again, the sunshine and the warm air going to crank us up fast once it hits. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, beloved longtime funeral director and community leader in Knott County has died. Danny Terry died Tuesday at his home. Now, he was the owner of Heineman Funeral Services for more than 50 years. Terry also served as coroner and deputy coroner, was a supporter of several civic and sports organizations, and a member of the Knott County Hall of Fame. Now, he was also well known for his bluegrass gospel singing. The visitation will begin Sunday afternoon at the Heineman Funeral Services Chapel. The funeral is Tuesday, December 28th at 11 a.m. Danny Terry was 73. A serious crash at a busy intersection in Hazard forced Highway 80 to close near Walmart Wednesday evening. Now, during a time when that area was likely full of last-minute Christmas shoppers, Hazard police say it was a four-car crash involving an overturned truck. Multiple injuries have been reported, with at least one person flown to a hospital from the scene. Now, the extent of the injuries is currently unknown, and the cause of the crash is being investigated. Well, we have more information about a deadly Rowan County fire. It happened Tuesday on Jackson Cemetery Road. Kentucky State Police say they have arrested a minor accused of starting that fire that killed 81-year-old Loyal Riddle. Now, that minor is charged with murder and arson. A major breakthrough in a nearly half-a-century cold case after the Fayette County coroner identified remains found 5 years ago as those of Martha Hemlick. Now, she disappeared back in 1973, traveling with her sister Flora and a man named John Edwin Keaton. Now, they were on the way to a Keaton family reunion from Virginia to Jackson County, Kentucky. The coroner says it's likely they drowned in the Kentucky River.
What we think probably happened was he drove down there, the water, and it was dark and the water was glistening. The water was probably black, like black ice.
Hemlick's family requested the coroner and Lexington Fire Captain Christopher Warren escort her body home to Virginia. That will mark the end of this years-long process. The University of Kentucky has revoked a fraternity's registered student organization status in the wake of a student's death in October. The university released its preliminary findings of two investigations stemming from the death of 18-year-old Lofton Hazelwood. The coroner says the freshman at UK died from alcohol poisoning. While no criminal wrongdoing is directly linked to this death, the university says they have found evidence of hazing and other code of conduct violations.
Let me be clear. These next steps are a start, not an end. The issues of hazing and alcohol use are not isolated to the UK campus, nor, it should be noted, are they restricted to fraternity chapters. That is why we will be extending many of these initiatives to student organizations across our campus.
Reports say that at least 6 other fraternities have been suspended at the University of Kentucky since 2010. A Whitley County man will go to jail after being convicted of sexual abuse. Josh Rissner was found guilty of first-degree sexual abuse. He could face 40 years in prison, and he will be registered as a sex offender for the rest of his life. He's scheduled to be sentenced in February of next year. A Madison County man is facing child pornography charges. State police arrested 21-year-old Zachary Feltner. They say through an undercover investigation, they found Feltner distributing sexually explicit images online. They arrested him Tuesday at his home in Berea. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in prison. Well, over in Laurel County, a man is facing a burglary charge. The sheriff's office says surveillance cameras caught 45-year-old Ronald Johnson breaking into a business off West Laurel Road. Now, they showed up at his house early Tuesday morning. They found him wearing the same clothes he was wearing in the surveillance video. He also had warrants out for his arrest. The Jackson Police Department received a call from a local business Tuesday that a skimmer had been found on a gas pump. Now, the skimmer in that pump had what appeared to be a Bluetooth piece embedded in it, allowing someone to scam people that inserted their credit or debit card. The skimmer was taken as evidence. Police are not naming the business right now due to the ongoing investigation.
If you feel that you've been scammed or your credit information has been compromised, contact your credit card company and local authorities.
Jackson police say to make sure gas pump panels are closed, look at the card readers before inserting your card and try wiggling the card reader to be safe. A Kentucky lawmaker wants to make sending abortion pills by mail illegal. Earlier this month, the FDA did away with the rules that required patients to pick up the medication in person. Now, the Lexington Herald later reports that Representative Nancy Tate says she'll file a bill that would reverse the change. It would also put other abortion rules in place, including rules on how minors can get abortions. Well, in Magoffin County, the fiscal court finally approved a contract to set up the county's own ambulance service. Now, it's been in the works for more than 1 year. The vote was delayed because of the pandemic. NetCare Ambulance Service will staff 4 trucks in the area. The service could be running in as little as 90 days. Well, thank you so much for getting your Thursday morning started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. Coming up next, folks on the International Space Station get a special delivery just in time for Christmas.
And it's my last morning newscast before Christmas, so you know what that means. Your Christmas tree pictures are coming up. I'll have that and the forecast in about 3 minutes.